Hello, my name's Alec Head.
Hi, I'm Stacy.
Hello, my name is Ashley Sykes.
Hey everybody, my name is Rebecca Garza. Strategic Plan. We here at the Dallas Public Library have designed a long-term plan to connect underserved populations more efficiently and compassionately, specifically to serve homeless veterans with a focus on the disabled.
Dallas is a vibrant and diverse community. Although as urban environments go, it is actually relatively conservative. As such, funding may not initially be forthcoming for a new library program. However, the emphasis of the program on homeless veterans will likely improve the variety of grants and finances made available. Our library is already fully staffed, which allows us to run our circulation programs efficiently while providing friendly assistance to our patrons. However, in order to complete the plan in its current form, including assisting in teaching basic computer literacy, as well as the more advanced instruction required for the makerspace, a technology instructor would need to be hired. We currently have at our disposal dozens of desktop computers, some of which can be repurposed for the makerspace. This in turn will free space in the greater portion of the library for other aspects of this and other programs. We also have our circulation system, which is capable of incorporating the laptops that will be added per this technology plan. By adding entries into the system, applying security tags, and adding identifiers such as barcodes, the system will allow for the inclusion of the laptops. This plan calls for a general shift toward laptop computers. Space is a primary requisite of many aspects of the program, and, as mentioned prior, some of the space currently occupied by computer tables can be reclaimed following their replacement with laptops. Let's take a look at our current strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. As for strengths, we are set in a diverse community, with staff that are flexible and prepared to adapt to changes. Furthermore, we have community connections formed with local homeless shelters and organizations such as the VFW, or Veterans of Foreign Wars Office. In regard to weaknesses, we do have some initial dilemmas over space and positioning. In addition, we are proposing to work with a target audience that is currently being largely underserved, thus presenting a need to spread information about the programs offered in unique ways. Just as importantly, however, opportunities present themselves through the ability to connect an underserved population, both from a library perspective and a societal one. Through therapeutic approaches and improved education, the population can benefit by improving career prospects. Other opportunities include the chance to assist the homeless veterans of the area, thus providing opportunities for them to gain needed assistance in computer training, which is necessary for the vast majority of careers these days. Furthermore, it includes a therapeutic element, compassionately reaching out into a populace commonly struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder or substance abuse. This brings me to threats. Many perceive the homeless population as dangerous or a threat, and might resist new programs welcoming them to the library. Other perceptions include issues over hygiene. Lastly, given the PTSD struggles common to the population, there are concerns over triggering episodes leading to violence.
Target audience. The homeless veteran population, despite giving so much for their country, are often a forgotten demographic. This, in combination with recent cuts to federal financial aid, lead to a largely underserved and underappreciated group in need of support. Our library has formed and reaffirmed connections with local homeless shelters, as well as organizations such as the VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars, to ascertain what aid is needed and how to best approach it. These connections also lead to referrals, as said groups can provide information about our library programs to those seeking assistance. Problems and challenges faced. The first major hurdle is definitely to spread word of the program. Given the population, access to the internet is highly limited, so word of mouth and brochures will be primary methods of referral. Other challenges include implementing training for employees to guide them to better assist a population often characterized by post-traumatic stress disorder and substance abuses.
Meet John Doe. John joined the Army in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. Serving his country admirably in Iraq, John was medically discharged in 2005, following injuries sustained while saving his comrades from an Al-Qaeda landmine. Returning home, John began to self-medicate his aches and pains, leading to a struggle with substance abuse. Furthermore, having little experience with standard computer programs, such as the Microsoft Office suite, John was unable to find a career that suited him. It was his arrival on our doorstep that has inspired this program. With library assistance, a location to participate in support groups, and access to a webcam-enabled device to communicate with his comrades still overseas, John has taken great strides forward and is now back on his feet. We are honored to serve John and others like him. We are serving those who have served, who we thank and owe everything to.
Trained security will be on hand at all times for the safety of patrons. They will also be looking out for patrons that might be under the influence of illegal substances or carrying illegal substances with them. These patrons will promptly be asked to leave. Since laptops are portable, we would equip each laptop with a security tag to prevent theft and make sure they are for library use only. If the laptops have basic problems, employees at Circulation would be able to help. If there are more complex issues, the laptop would be removed from Circulation to be repaired. Technology instruction will be headed by a technology instructor, and assistance will potentially be drawn from Circulation if necessary.
Staffing and training. Sensitivity training. It is our hope that with the sensitivity training, our patrons will be able to reestablish themselves better and cope with their feelings that may have come from past trauma. Computer literacy. These courses will serve as a beginner and reintroduction tool to better acquaint our patrons with the necessary skills to operate our programs, such as Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. Specialized program training. Lastly, the specialized program training would require someone to give the music and art classes that will be held, as well as the introduction to makerspaces and the use of the 3D printers.
The budget for our Homeless Veteran Project encompasses income from a few different grants, eliminating the need to rely on the city's budget, as well as eliminating the need to pull resources from the library that are already being used for the community. The budget also includes expenses that are vital to the project, such as technologies that bring veterans and their families together. On this slide, a summary of the total income and total expenses can be seen both on the upper left as well as in chart form. Two pie graphs also detail the percentages of the estimated and actual total income versus total expenses. Expenses include 30 Chromebooks, a docking station for the Chromebooks, 30 headsets with microphones, a 3D printing kit that includes the filament and setup, as well as specialized staff to run the program. These staff include a library specialist and a library technician, as well as an online program dedicated to sensitivity training. Sensitivity training is vital to this project as that allows our librarians and staff to be prepared to handle situations, as well as have the knowledge and skill to deal with sensitive issues that can arise when working with veterans. Lastly, expenses such as sound dampening room kit, which helps to give privacy to the veterans and helps not to disturb other patrons, and advertising materials round out the expenses. Our income is all contingent on grants. The first grant is from the Veterans of Foreign Wars, which helps nonprofits provide the vital support America's heroes deserve. This grant can range from $1,000 to $15,000 and is awarded to activities that directly benefit veterans, active duty military personnel, and their families. The next grant is the Laura Bush 21st Century Librarian Program Grant. This grant seeks to enhance the training and professional development of librarians and is awarded to project categories that include community, national, and curation. This grant has awards up to $1 million with up to $50,000 awarded for projects. The Activating Community Opportunities Using Museums and Libraries as Assets is a grant that has awards up to $150,000. This grant is for library projects that address challenges that the libraries face. This grant is also for projects that will help LAMs, or libraries, archives, and museums, and their communities learn together how to build upon the abilities of LAMs to achieve positive change. The last grant is a Smart and Connected Communities grant, which offers awards up to $3 million. This grant is for community projects that pair advances in technology with meaningful community engagement.
Project Plan. Goals. To aid as many veterans and patrons as possible. Educate and inform patrons on our program and its advantages. Objectives. Aid veterans in reestablishing themselves in society. Provide job and educational opportunities. Activities. Support groups. Chromebook and computer training. Introduction to makerspaces / 3D printer training. Art and music classes. Project Plan. Evaluation. With the addition of the following, it will help provide job opportunities and allow them to stay in contact with family and pursue educational options as well. Therefore, the equipment has proven useful and relevant to the needs of the project. Chromebooks. This allows them to work as needed and contact family. Docking station. To charge the Chromebooks we will have available. Sound dampening kit. To allow for privacy in study quiet rooms. Microphone / headsets. This will allow them to use programs such as Skype in order to communicate. 3D printer kit. This will provide a creative outlet that can prove to be therapeutic for our patrons. Timeline. As a long-term plan, it is our goal to be able to purchase the required equipment and additional staff that will be required to assist with the training of programs as soon as possible. With the allotted budget provided, the estimated time is anywhere from 1 to 3 months.
The future of our project will not only include our library in which this project is implemented, but will include other libraries and communities as well that want to utilize what we have learned here. To help impact the future of other libraries and communities, we will publish our project plan in an open access fashion so that other libraries have access to grow their communities and engage with homeless veterans in their communities. By using Chromebooks that have access to webcams, as well as utilizing headsets that allow homeless veterans to reach out and communicate to family members, tutors, and fellow veterans, we are using modern technology current to our time now. To expand to the future, we hope to utilize the next new technology to keep communities communicating, whether that be by virtual reality headsets, next generation computer simulators such as Second Life, or something completely unknown that has not been created yet. By keeping our librarians and staff trained and always up to speed on new technologies, we can ensure that our librarians and staff are knowledgeable with new technologies. If they remain knowledgeable, then we can ensure that we will be prepared for whatever new technologies come our way.
Some of the greatest challenges our program faces is being limited to word of mouth. Because our intended audience is homeless, they often have little to no internet accessibility. What they do have is often through the library as it is. One way we counteract this hurdle is through one-on-one interactions, such as those that we had with John Doe, which has led to several direct referrals. We also have approached the spreading of our program in a more general sense by creating a series of brochures which we pass out as part of our continuing connections with local shelters and VFW offices. I've definitely learned a lot about the methods of collaboration that are available. Technical difficulties at times for sure cause some hiccups, but we as a group pulled together and found a variety of information communication technology to communicate throughout. It took some experimenting and coordination, and soon we discovered a system of organizing Google Drive folders and subfolders with weekly video conferences to stay on the same page. This, combined with just a really great group, has led to some wonderful final results.
I learned that it doesn't take much technology to help veterans one-on-one. A computer class can make a world of difference for a veteran hoping to find a job and is new to certain programs like Word or Excel. If said computer has a webcam, it can allow that same veteran to make a connection across the world with a friend or family member. A library is totally capable of helping veterans achieve their goals and make connections that they may otherwise not have on a daily basis. I learned that my group all had their own strengths to contribute. It took us a while for all of us to get together, but when we did, Alex stepped up to be our team leader and has done a great job in managing our time and being super organized. I also learned about Google Hangouts, which I had never used before. It was a great way to see everyone online and talk or chat in real time. All in all, this was a fun experience.
I have learned how to really utilize Excel to make visually appealing charts to show budgets and expenses. I've also learned how to better use OneDrive as I do not normally use Google Drive to share documents or perform tasks. I've also learned how to overcome anxiety with using new tools and applications to perform the group tasks such as Audacity, Google Drive, and Google Hangout.
I've always been technologically challenged, so online classes in general tend to make me anxious. And I was curious to see how group work online would fare versus the group projects I have contributed to in the past, and this experience was much better. Everyone communicated well, and I learned how to collaborate in new ways using new methods I've never used before: Google Hangouts, group chats. And through this assignment, I utilized Google Documents, shared files, and converted other formats into a PowerPoint to create our presentation. Overall, it was fun to work with everyone, and I'm excited to see how our finished project turns out, and to see the projects of our classmates.
At Dallas Public Library, we hope to better understand our veteran population, so we constructed a survey which would give us information on their strengths and hopefully offer support for personal or work issues they may have. We constructed a flyer to make veterans aware of all the opportunities that are being offered at the Dallas Public Library. We are going to have VFW offices and homeless shelters make these flyers available. Most classes being offered would be held in the evening or weekends to make sure that veterans would be able to attend, and we are giving them the opportunity to sign up at the library in person or online.